What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're going to be watching top 5 scariest sounds in Minecraft. Alright, now let's get into it.
Sounds in Minecraft. And after carefully examining every sound file and researching the reputation behind infamous Minecraft sound effects on various community-used websites, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now...
Alright, this is scary. Alright, now let's watch it from the beginning. What did it say? Alright.
Sounds. Minecraft is full of them, 1,173 to be exact, as of the Village and Pillage update. It just so happens that after a decade of Minecraft, certain sounds have developed a minor reputation. Sounds that make us question what game it is we're actually playing here.
Oh!
In this video, we list...
That didn't scare me. Come on. That didn't scare me. Stop playing.
the top 5 scariest sounds in Minecraft. And after carefully examining every sound file and researching the reputation behind infamous Minecraft sound effects on various community-used websites, ladies and gentlemen, I'm now slightly disturbed, but nonetheless excited to present to you our list.
Alright, let's go.
To catch an echo of the sound that rests in 5th place, we're going to have to go for a dive. A deep dive. Not so often, when exploring the depths of our oceans, will we be greeted with that dark and ominous noise. It actually belongs to a series of 4 alternative versions, each as rare as the other.
Alright. You see this green looking frog right here? Who cares about that? Now, I never hear this in Minecraft. Alright? I never. Alright? I never hear this in Minecraft. Actually, when I go in the water, like swim around and all of that, I never hear this. So yeah.
Fittingly, in the game files of Minecraft, these sounds are labelled as dark, 1 to 4. Though it's those two, 1 and 4, that wield that extra eeriness, sharing the 5th spot. In the underwater ambience folder, we can identify sounds labelled with words like animal, earthcrack, bass whale, and driplets. But we can only wonder what dark actually embodies.
Alright. Number 4. Let's go.
You don't have to swim very far at all to locate our next sound of the scare variety.
Alright. Oh god. Alright.
Signified in the game files as curse, mining fatigue is inflicted upon trespassers by elder guardians, delivering a notable jump scare to any who approach their domain. If you've had this happen to yourself, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't,
Wow.
then maybe I've just spoiled the surprise for you. Though perhaps you should thank me in this case, as this jump scare plays quite loud, offering quite the spook. But it doesn't play as loud as our next sound.
Alright. Alright, hold up. Alright, I'm back.
There is nothing in Minecraft quite like the sound that earns the bronze medal. This too belongs to a mob, also well known for delivering its fair share of fear.
Wow. Alright.
Boasting one of the loudest sound effects in the entire game, drawn out to 14 seconds of intense confusion, and shares a fair amount of resemblance with Kayako Saiki's death rattle from the Grudge trilogy. Stare has notoriously engraved itself into the memory of one too many souls. Souls we can only pray for when it was the last thing they heard before their demise. This sound, or sounds, are no stranger to our ears. But it doesn't make them any less mysterious despite knowing them reasonably well. Two sounds share the number 2 spot. With both belonging to the same category, they equally serve as a reminder that caves are no place to misjudge.
Alright, I hate that sound so much when I play Minecraft.
Most commonly known amongst players as cave sounds, cave ambience has been torturing our sanity since Minecraft was in alpha. Though our second cave candidate, like the first, was introduced much later. I don't really need to describe why hearing this when alone in a dark cave may come off a little scary. All I know is it's the type of sound that makes you want to turn around and calmly find the nearest exit.
Hold on. Alright, we're back.
It's now safe to turn your volume back up, you have my word. But I'm sure by now many have already guessed the sound that lurks behind the throne of first place. And for good reason.
Oh, my
If
volume
you have
was
ever
already up.
looted this item, then you probably regret that you simply did. Unless you're a fan of being deeply disturbed. This broken disc, titled 11, plays a track of, well, let's just have a quick listen.
Alright, that's scary.
Now is probably a good time to mention that this game has a large youth following, so I truly feel sorry for anyone too young who came across this disc. We can just about make out someone attempting to run and break away from whatever's making those distant noises that gradually get closer toward the mysterious heavy breather. The entire 1 minute and 11 seconds of this track poses more questions than why there's another disc titled 13, but none called 12. At least parrots seem to vibe it.
I'm done.
This would have been a fitting video come Halloween, but I got impatient. Plus, I love scaring people. Were you scared? Yeah, neither was I.
Alright. Hope you should subscribe, like, comment, and share. And yeah. This was a top 5 scariest sounds in Minecraft video, I guess. So yeah. I'm gonna be uploading this. And yeah, don't mind that. So, hold up. I guess I have a few more seconds until.
Ted Lasso is tragic.
Hold up. Alright.
Since the beginning, there's been one mystery long unanswered in the world of Minecraft. One set of game design decisions so creepy, so disturbing, that they feel like they come from a completely different game. It's a riddle that, once solved, exposes more of the hidden lore that's buried deep inside this world. Today we're covering the mystery of the broken discs 11 and 13. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory. Can you to be unlocked by us? I asked all of you to send me your theories, and you did. The response was overwhelming, with hundreds of new theories posted in the comments, as well as over on the Game Theorist subreddit. Everything from the origins of the pigmen to the literally burning questions of the Nether. Keep them coming, guys. In full transparency, I'm still reading through them, and I'm working on compiling all the information to see where we go to next. But today, I actually wanted to tackle a Minecraft mystery that always bugged me personally, and one that I didn't see many theorists actually talking about when I made the call for theories. Today, I want to talk about the music discs. For those of you who don't know, music discs are unique items found randomly in chests that can be played in jukeboxes to, you know, liven up what's otherwise a very quiet, serene game. No, not that. The music discs are something to really set the mood. Wrong move, guys. Perfect. These discs can also be dropped by creepers when they're killed by arrows shot from either a skeleton or a stray. It's not spawn mechanic, but alright, we'll just go with it. Let that beat drop, creeper. Literally, creeper, let it drop. You don't even have hands. How can you be holding this thing in the first place? Other than that, though, there's really no other way to obtain them. They can't be crafted, after all. Now, all of that isn't particularly interesting, right? But where this goes from just being another item to a full-on gaming creepypasta is right here. Discs 11 and 13. You see, most music discs in the game have fairly innocuous names in music, like Blocks, Mall, and Cat. One of the first two music discs ever added into the game, but along with Cat, there was one other, simply titled 13. And unlike all the other ambient chill-out music, this one was, well, unsettling. Outside of it not having a name and also being numbered after what many considered to be an unlucky or evil number, so much so that airplanes and hotels don't even have 13th rows and floors. Fun fact, check it out next time you're in a hotel or an airplane. 13 also cuts off abruptly right in the middle of the track. And when it comes back, we're suddenly hit with echoey, other alien-like
I'm back.
But then the mystery got even
Because I
deeper.
just
When
got
version
some
1.0.0
pringles.
came out, 9
Yeah.
more music tracks were added to the game, with yet another disc going unnamed. This time, it was disc 11, and where number 13 was mildly unsettling, 11 outright screams to
I just got some Pringles from my mom, and I'm eat them while watching this. Alright, so don't judge.
us that we're not in the overworld anymore, friends. Starting right off the bat with desperate running, heavy breathing, and coughing. Here all along, I thought that Minecraft was for kids. Can you imagine finding this as a child playing this game, putting it on the jukebox, being excited to hear what you just found, and then What? You suffer from PTSD because of what you hear? Actually, I probably don't even have to ask you to imagine this sort of thing. I'm sure many of you watching probably had that exact same experience when you were playing the game as a kid. Bring in the cuboidal nightmares.
I feel no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Adding to the mystery, 11 is broken, shattered to pieces. These 2 discs led many people to conclude one of 2 things. Either they were documenting someone who was attacked by Endermen, or they were of someone being chased around by Herobrine, the ghostly glitch that many say haunted the game's code in the early days of mining and crafting. But that's largely where the discussion of these things stopped. Guesses. To my knowledge, no one has truly taken a scientific look at analyzing these 2 discs to try and uncover the mysteries that they contain. So today I am doing exactly that, using a combination of audio analysis, visualization tools, metagame analysis, and just good old logic to try and end the childhood nightmare that was these 2 discs. And in the process, I'm hoping that what we find continues to unravel the mysteries of the deeper lore hidden within this game's files. Now, before we get into any deep analysis of the audio itself, I want to start by actually analyzing these soundtracks visually. As many of you may remember from my video on the Fortnite Season 5 ARG, it's relatively easy to hide clues within audio files, but sometimes those clues aren't necessarily ones you're gonna hear. Oftentimes, they're ones that you're gonna see. They're called spectrograms, visual representations of the frequencies that you're hearing in a sound file. It's a technique that we've actually used a lot when creating clues for our Game Theorist ARG. Weird sounding audio files like this that, when changed into a visual format, give you everything from web addresses to secret passwords like this. Wait, what is this? What's this code? I wonder where that could lead to. Yeah, that's it. 7v7. No way. No way! I can't believe it! New back to school game
I'm
theory
done.
merch? Wow! This stuff looks perfect. Tops are cubes of dirt, or a pickaxe. Apparently, since I told Chris to buy some props for the shoot, he instead purchased real pickaxes, as opposed to, Minecrafty toy ones. And that's not all. We've got ourselves a hard shell pencil
Alright,
case,
hold up.
perfect for keeping.
Alright, we're
Was
back.
kind of skeptical about the results that they had. A French Minecrafter named Bisidro supposedly made a spectrogram of the sound files and said that he found both a creeper face and the numbers 12418 hidden inside. It sounded like a lot of fake news to me, and the screenshots that were circulating the internet just felt a bit too perfect, a bit too Photoshoppy feeling for me, so I redid the whole spectrograph test using my own tools, and this is what I found. It was 100% true. This wasn't just a bunch of karma fodder, something cool that someone made up to try and get people's upvotes. The images are actually there, hidden within the sound file. But then what does it mean? Well, interestingly enough, the numbers appear to be a secret signature inserted in there by the music's producer. Minecraft's music was produced by a man named Daniel Rosenfeld, better known online as C418. And wouldn't you know it, but the numbers 1, 2, 12 in hexadecimal code or hex code translates to the letter C. Thus we have 12418 actually being a code for C418, his online name. The creeper face, meanwhile, well, it's creeper face. Maybe these tracks are less made by the Enderman and more a product of our little moss bombs. To know for sure, though, we have to keep digging. To continue being good little AV club members here, we're gonna need the A to go along with the V that we just analyzed, hopefully giving us a clearer picture of what exactly is going on. So let's play this thing, starting where it all began, disc 13. Here's a copyright neutral clip. Okay, so obviously this takes place in a cave. We have sounds that are echoing, reverberating, with wet dripping sounds and chimes. But we don't just have to speculate about this. What we're hearing in disc 13 are very clearly cave ambient sounds. The ones specifically programmed into the game to play when you're in a dark, eerie, underground place. Here's a moment from disc 13. And here's one of the matching cave ambience tracks. But it goes even further. Nowadays in Minecraft, there are 19 different cave ambience tracks. But back when disc 13 was first introduced, guess how many there were? 13. 13 isn't just a spooky number here. It's a reference to the number of cave ambient sounds that existed in the game. But what else are we hearing here? Well, at 143, there's the faint sound of a creeper hiss and explosion echoing through the cave. Here's the clip. And here's that iconic sound as we usually hear it in the game. It's immediately followed by the sound of someone falling into water and then staggering out. You can almost hear their footsteps. What it seems to suggest is a caver exploring a cave, running into a creeper, and then having to jump into a pool of water to avoid the ensuing explosion. He gets out slightly injured and then tries to find a place to hide. But there are two other audio clues here that are worth mentioning. The first happens at the 1 minute mark. You can actually hear faint sounds of arrows being shot. Here's the audio. And here's the sound effect in game. But while we hear two arrows being shot, we actually only hear one of them land in the ground. The other one remains silent, which suggests that it hit its target. Now, what mob is found in caves and also happens to fire arrows? Skeletons.
Yep.
Now, remember something that I mentioned before. Music discs are found either in chests or via a very random mechanic of a skeleton stray arrow going on and killing a creeper. And what do we have in disc 13? In this one audio disc, we have a creeper exploding and a mob firing arrows at us. The reason creepers drop music discs when hit by skeletons or stray arrows, it's a reference to disc 13. The last thing worth noting here is the cutoff that I mentioned earlier. The disc stops abruptly after the arrows fire and picks up as the creeper starts hissing. It's a cutoff that's not only unsettling, but one that, wouldn't you know it, also happens at exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds into the track. 1-3, disc 13. Oh yeah, and wouldn't you know it, but the creeper starts to hiss exactly 13 seconds after that cutoff. Slow clap, Daniel, slow clap. You use that number 13 to its fullest here. So those are all fun little Easter eggs, but why is it cut off? What are we missing? Well, for that, let's turn to disc 11, which is, quite honestly, a bit more straightforward. Somebody is running on stone, uses some metallic object that clicks, then uses a paper object based on the rustling we hear, before finally running away, first on stone and then either on dirt or gravel. Throughout the audio, though, we have a disturbing addition: coughing and heavy breathing. Human coughing. Sounds that feel very out of place in our perfect little block world. And then it just cuts off. No words, no music, no explanation. Just cuts off at the 1 minute and 11 mark. 1 minute and 11 seconds. You don't get a second slow clap. But seriously, it's no wonder these things became a creepypasta in their own right. To throw something like this into a game that has a massive audience of 9-year-olds, and suddenly this becomes a complete horror show. Even as an adult, this feels like it belongs more in my creepy film theory episodes than in the realm of Diamond Minecart and Captain Sparkles. But okay, let's start working on identifying some of those mysterious sounds. It turns out that the easiest way to narrow down what we're actually hearing isn't audio analysis, it's game analysis. We know the metallic clicking has to be flint and steel by process of elimination. Disc 11 was officially added as a music disc on July 30th, 2010. Other metallic objects were actually added later, like the compass, which was introduced later that year in September, whereas flint and steel has been present in the game before it even had a numbering system. The same is true for the paper object. It can't be a map since maps didn't appear in the game until much later, April 27th, 2011, a full year after the disc was introduced, meaning that our caver would have to be using either paper or a book of some form. So he lights himself a fire and presumably starts writing on the paper or book, almost as if he's keeping a journal. And wouldn't you know it, but throughout Minecraft's extended lore, we have ourselves multiple instances of historians who document their findings in this world via journal of some sort. My last episode on Enderman, for instance, talked a lot about the Mob Bestiary, which was one such book written from the perspective of an explorer in this world. And more recently, in July of 2019, we got ourselves Minecraft The Lost Journals, a novel which literally has ripped, torn pages from an explorer named Nicholas who finds and gets trapped in locations like the Nether. Perhaps this person that we're hearing in the audio files is Nicholas. There's no really solid evidence to that, but it could very well be. Or perhaps any of the authors of any of the journals that exist in the Minecraft extended universe. We can't quite be sure who it is, but we can be sure that these two discs connect with each other. They're telling the same story. Despite there being less reverb in Disc 11, we know that it's also taking place in a cave based on the types of blocks our adventurer is running on. Dungeons contain cobble and mossy cobble. Strongholds didn't exist back then, and we're not hearing ourselves any grass, only stone and dirt, meaning that probability says it's most likely a cave. Could it be the same cave that we heard back in Disc 13? Well, when you look at the events, it seems to continue the story that was set up in Disc 13. Disc 11 slots in perfectly at the breakpoint that we hear in Disc 13. Our cave explorer gets attacked by arrows from a skeleton at the beginning of 13. The audio breaks, but when we pick up back in Disc 11, we hear him running away, presumably escaping the arrows to a safe area where he can light a fire and record the findings in his journal. However, he's caught off guard by a creeper that causes him to get up and run away, and as we hear back when Disc 13 picks back up again, explodes, resulting in him jumping into water at the last minute to avoid the explosion. We end our little vignette here with him trying to find some place to hide and dry off. Heck, perhaps that's even why Disc 11 is shattered in the first place. It broke during the explosion with the creeper, or during our caver's fall. And that, my fellow miners and crafters, seems to be the story of Disc 11 and 13. A story of creepers and skeletons, and why music discs spawn that way. A story of journalists who are lost underground in caves. A story of broken records and hidden visual Easter eggs. But what's most interesting of it all is that it confirms a part of my last theory. The belief that there was an ancient civilization of builders present here in these games before we arrived. People who came before us. No, these discs weren't created by Endermen, but perhaps more unsettling, they were made by men. Humans who aren't here any longer. A race of people who tried to explore, document, and understand the mysteries of this world, but didn't survive long enough to pass their knowledge on to us. Their journals are lost. Their records are broken. Their structures are left empty. Sure, discs 11 and 13 might not be as creepy as we once believed them to be when we were younger playing this game, but they allude to something much more dire, an existential dread. This cave explorer is gone, without a trace. His people are gone, vanished into thin air, and now we're here, alone, and putting together the lost pieces of this civilization. Could the same thing that happened to them happen to us? But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. New merch.
Alright, this is the end of the radio. Been recording for a while. And
Just makes no sense, which is what I love. If it makes sense, what's the point?
No, I'm brilliant. This plan will ensure that I receive my cocaine shipments on time.
It's true, though. It's true. If you want your cocaine shipments on time, Burnout, California. Send lava zombies to go invade California. So good.
Hey, Shadow.
Yep. I am Shadow. Hey, oops,
Shadow. Does be the time of the spooks. We must go and spook.
OMG, yes, spook time.
But this shan't be a normal Halloween.
this is the end of the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And enjoy. And I hope you enjoy.